An extraction is a procedure used to separate and purify organic compounds from inorganic compounds. In a traditional extraction procedure, you have an aqueous layer that is mixed with an immiscible organic layer composed of organic solvents. The solutes distribute themselves between the aqueous layer and the organic layer depending on their relative solubilities. See, while organic salts tend to favor the aqueous layer, organic compounds tend to favor the organic layer. For today's experiment, we will be performing an acid and base extraction. On the screen, we have provided a flowchart to explain the chemistry behind the process. Again, it is simply a manipulation of solubilities. We are going from acid to conjugate base, base to conjugate acid, and vice versa. We are starting with two solutes together in the form of a tablet, and by the end of the process, we will end with the two solutes separated into two solvents. That is the ultimate goal of extraction. While this flowchart is very specific to the acid-base extraction of anise, the general idea can be applied to all extraction processes. When choosing a solvent to perform your extraction, the most important thing to consider is immiscibility. Whichever solvent you choose must be immiscible with water. Another important thing to consider are the densities of your solvents. The most dense layer will always be at the bottom. Keep this in mind when you are draining off your layers and labeling them. Oftentimes, when you're doing extraction, there is a chance of an emulsion forming. What an emulsion is insoluble droplets of one liquid in another liquid. So to avoid an emulsion, what you can do when adding your aqueous layer, in this case we have our HCl, you want to add it very slowly to the separatory funnel. Once you've added the aqueous layer to your organic layer, you want to take your stopper, close your separatory funnel, pick it up. You want to hold the stopper in place in case you don't want it falling out and your liquid's going everywhere. You're going to slowly invert it once and immediately open your stopcock to release any pressure that may have built up. You're going to close it again. You're going to slowly invert it, mixing the two layers together as such. You want to be very careful and maintain pressure on the stopcock at all times. And you want to, did you hear that? You want to occasionally open it to make sure you're releasing all of that air. I'm going to do this a few more times. Make sure to reclose your stopcock before you continue to invert your separatory funnel. Okay, one more time. And that's it. Just go ahead and close it. Put it back. And that's that. As you can see, we have two layers. Okay, so our organic layer will be on the top because it is less dense, and then you have down here the aqueous layer. Okay, so if an emulsion does form, what you can do to get rid of it is you can use vacuum filtration, which will remove any solid particles that may have formed.